Salve discipuli, ego sum magistra buddy, and this is the Stage 5 lesson on plurals. All right, quick review of our case functions. In Latin, we have the nominative. The nominative is always the subject, or it could be a subject complement. For example, the kid sits. Kid is the subject. We know that kid is the subject in English because it comes in front of the verb and it's doing the verb. The kid is smart. Kid is the subject because it's comes in front of the verb, but is a linking verb, and smart is a subject complement. It's saying that these two are the same things. You can think of linking verbs as equal signs. Accusatives. Accusatives can either be a direct object or object of a preposition. For example, the kid throws the ball. We know that the ball in English is the direct object because it's directly receiving the action of the verb throws. It also comes after the verb. He throws the ball into the net. Net here is the object of a preposition because into is a preposition. Ablatives can only be objects of a preposition. So the kid sits in the kitchen. Again, in the kitchen is a prep phrase. Kitchen is the object of the preposition here. I have this whole thing in parentheses because it is our prep phrase. All right, so let's review our endings. First declension, I, us, o, e, ad, ace. So this nominative plural row here has our new endings. So ae for the first declension, that's the nominative plural. Accented I for this second declension is nominative plural. Accented es for the third declension is nominative plural. So these are going to be in effect when you have multiple subjects. For example, if there were multiple crowds as your subject, you would use turbai. If there were multiple sons as your subject, you would use filii. If there were multiple cities as your subject, you would use urbase. All right, if we're going to have multiple subjects, we need to have a verb that indicates multiples. So these are our review. O, when the verb is, when the subject of the verb is I. S, when the subject of the verb is you. T, when the subject of the verb is he, she, or it, or a singular subject. And now we can have NT when we have a plural subject. So ego kokuo would be I cook. Tu koquis would be you cook. Servus koquit would be the slave cooks. So there's only one slave here. Servi kokuunt would be the slaves cook. All right, and then we have our linking verb examples. So sum is I am, es is you are, est he, she, it is, sunt would be they are. Now, of course, we can replace a singular subject with est instead of he, she, or it. We can have a plural subject with sunt, and so like the boys or the cooks. You use these pronouns if you do not have a specified subject. If that is not making sense to you, please go back to lesson 4 and review that. All right, ego sum quoquus, I am a cook. Tu es quoquus, you are a cook. Servus est quoquus, the slave is a cook. Now we can have servi sunt quoqui, the slaves are cooks. Notice how this is plural. This is plural, this is plural. Singular, singular, singular. All right, so go ahead and copy down these 6 sentences. If you have an ablative or an accusative that's going with a preposition, make sure you put it in parentheses, isolate it, and set it aside. If you're looking at an action verb, meaning the verb is performing an action, it's doing something, put a V over it. If it's just a linking verb, put an LV over it. If you're looking at a nominative, it's either your subject or it could be a subject complement, especially if it's on the right side or after, I should say, a linking verb. If you have any accusatives left over that are not in a prep phrase, then you're looking at a direct object. So go ahead and pause the video, copy down these 6 sentences, label them, translate them, and then unpause the video and check your work. All right, discipuli, our first sentence here, puella ridet. Puelli rident. So Puella is nominative singular. It's our subject. We've got a verb here. But puellae is also a subject. It's just plural. And it agrees with our NT here, this plural verb. So singular subject, singular verb. Plural subject, plural verb. The girl laughs. The girls laugh. All right, servus ambulat, servi ambulant. Singular subject, singular verb. Plural subject, plural verb. The slave walks, the slaves walk. Mercator contendit, mercatores contendunt. Singular subject, singular verb. Plural subject, plural verb. The merchant hurries, the merchants hurry. Canis ad domum currit, canes ad dominum currunt. So ad dominum, dominum is accusative, but it's going with a preposition. So we're going to set it aside in our parentheses and label what we have left. Canis, singular nominative, so we have a singular subject. We also have a singular verb. Canes, plural. We have a plural subject. We also have a plural verb. So the dog hurries to his master. His is just assumed. The dogs hurry to their master. Again, the there is just assumed. You could just say the master if you'd like. All right, filius canam laudat, filii poetam laudant. All right, so we have a singular subject, we have a singular verb, we have an accusative, and there's no preposition nearby, so it's a direct object. Plural subject, we know because of the accented I. Plural verb, we know because of the N in front of the T. And we have an accusative here, no preposition nearby, so it's a direct object. The sun praises the dinner. The sons praise the poet. All right, coquus in culina laborat, sed servi in horto laborant. We've got an ablative here with a preposition, so I'm going to put them in parentheses and set it aside. Same with here. In horto, we've got an ablative with a preposition, put it in parentheses, set it aside. We also have a connector here, sed. So I'm going to put a circle around it. All right, let's focus on what we have left. Quoquus, that's a singular nominative. I'm going to put a S over it because that's the subject. Laborat's a verb. It's singular. Singular subject, singular verb. Servi, nominative plural, so it's our subject. Laborant, plural verb, so I'm going to put a V over it. Plural subject, plural verb. So the cook works in the kitchen, but the slaves work in the garden. All right, discipuli, remember English relies on word order to indicate function. Latin relies on endings to indicate function. If you do not know your endings, you will not be able to decode the words. Even if you know what every single word in the sentence means, you won't be able to put the pieces together. So make sure that you are practicing your charts. Make sure you know your endings. Valete discipuli.